Hey guys, it is Faerie Grace, and I just wanted to encourage you today if you are feeling broken and just struggling. I think it would be pretty common to say that it would be very easy for anyone to struggle right now with COVID still going on in the world being changed as we have known it. I haven't done videos in a while. Our family dynamic has changed, and my mom is home with us on hospice right now, so we are her 24/7 caregiver. And in the process, I feel like I am being crushed from all sides. Are you feeling like that too? Just crushed from all sides. And I don't want to go into more detail of all the reasons for that, but just think about what you're going through, that you are just feeling you are being crushed from all sides. And maybe your breath, it just feels like something's heavy on your chest, or you wake up with it, or you go to bed with it. I should say you go to bed with it and you wake up with it. And I just want to encourage you. So even for me, I've had this since I was a child. I've always been pretty optimistic. I can't help it. As you know, it's in my bloodline. My blood type is B positive, so I can't help but be optimistic and positive, which is really awesome. It's just a natural default I have, and I'm really grateful and thankful for it. But I'm also very emotional. I'm very sensitive. Like, let me find a Disney movie that I have not cried at some point in the movie, but in that sensitivity of feeling people's pain. And I got to give my mom shots right now, several times a day for her insulin or checking her sugar. And I like bawled like a baby when I first had to do it, and my siblings were all like, "Is she serious?" But that's just a sensitive spirit. But what is a con to the sensitive spirit is struggling with that and being so sensitive and having a hard time processing things because your heart is so sensitive. But a con to that is, a pro to that is you can feel people. You do have a sensitivity, and you have a natural gravitation to them. If they're weeping, to weep with them, or if they're rejoicing, to rejoice with them. So there's also benefits to being very sensitive. Well, one of the things for me since I was a kid is I would break out in hives when I was stressed. So you can see at this moment, I just woke up from a late nap, up with my mom, and then one of my sisters came, and I'm like, okay, I'm getting in the shower and getting dressed. So I'm half makeup right now also. But I wanted to get this video out because I know I'm not the only one that breaks out in hives when they get stressed, and I'm not the only one that's feeling crushed from all sides. So I'm here to encourage you. I did a women's retreat last fall. It'll be a year coming up soon. And I took this beautiful rose plate. I love roses. I took this beautiful rose plate, and in the first message, I was saying how we can be this beautiful plate and then we get broken. And I actually broke the flower on the platform on stage. And it was to show that once we're broken, we are never the same. And things I've gone through in my life, and you, I sure can say as well, things you've gone through have changed you. And normally the default is for the negative. You become cynical, you become hurt, you become jaded, you have triggers, you are overwhelmed, you don't have that glow anymore, you don't have that sparkle in your eye. I do still have sparkle in my eye. I'm just lacking sleep and eye makeup right now. But you lose that. You lose yourself, and people see that there's a dimmer, that there's something different, that you're not yourself, right? And some of you may be looking like that. So I was showing the ladies when this cup, which was perfectly fine and perfect and new looking, and I broke it, and you could hear an audible gasp from the ladies, like, what is she doing? But I was saying, once you're broken, you can never be the same person that you were. You just can't. When you lose someone, when you lose a job, when you get a disease, when your mind works but your body doesn't, or your body works and your mind doesn't, or you go through a divorce, or the worst thing, I think, you lose a child, you lose your parents, your other half, your soulmate, you're not the same. So I was telling them that we're not the same. And sometimes when we break, pieces of us are lost. Have you ever shattered something and you go to repair it and it just doesn't come back together? There's slivers, there's pieces that are missing. But I was telling them, in the Bible, there's a scripture that says when we are broken, the potter, Christ himself, puts us back together, and we put his light in us and we shine brightly. And the broken pottery actually shines brighter than someone that was whole. Someone broken speaks more to people when they see the brokenness and the light shining through that brokenness. So basically, as the Bible also says, what you're going through, your trials, your tribulations, what you are struggling with or survived from, you are to use it to help others that are going through the same struggle. So if you lost a child, you can go to someone that's in the midst of that unbelievable nightmare, life forever changing moment, or losing a parent, or going through a divorce, or going through a second divorce. Some of us in this video may have experienced that. And you just think your world's over and you're shattered. You're literally broken. But see, when you let God put those pieces back together and you let his light shine in you to say, I'm not done. I'm not dead. My life as I knew it may be over, but new life has begun. And let those lights shine through your brokenness so that they see your glory, they see your hope, they see your promise, they see that you didn't turn to drugs or alcohol or sex or bankruptcy or gambling or whatever. And if you did at some point, come back. Come back. It's not too late. And it's not a judgment. It's just, that's destructive. And I want to see your best life happening. I want to see your light shining again. I want to see your hope and the glitter in your eye. But people can say, oh my gosh, you just went through this divorce. Let me introduce you to Sherry. She'll help you. She went through it. And they see that Sherry is whole in her new life. Doesn't mean that those broken pieces can't be put back together. As this art form is called, some people call it different things like Kintsugi, Kinsui. There's all different ways to say it, but it's a Japanese art form. And some say it goes back to the 1500s, and it's called golden joinery. And that's because they piece it together with gold or platinum or silver, and they don't disguise the brokenness. They celebrate it. And some people have said that this piece is more valuable to the collectors because of its brokenness. They don't hide it, they celebrate it. So I want you to take all of your brokenness and celebrate who you are, because you're still beautiful, you're still powerful, you're going to get over that divorce. Cancer may seem like everything, but there's still joy in it, there's still peace in it when you look at the right things, even when the unthinkable happens. And I can say from experience, I know there's days you don't want to get out of bed. I know there's days that you don't want to take another breath. But put your finger on your pulse. I can't because I'm holding this. And if you still feel a thump, 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 or maybe you're going through a stressful moment, thump, 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 that means you are about to be made into beautiful Kintsugi, so others can see your light, so others can have your hope. So I joke with my husband and I say, listen, I think between the both of us, we've been through almost everything. And I think we have enough testimonies to help half of the world. So we don't need to go through anymore. And then oddly enough, maybe I jinxed myself or spoke out something I shouldn't. We found ourselves finding new things that you can go through that will turn your world upside down. But you can still stand in an upside down world, and you still can be a beautiful piece of artwork that others marvel at. They marvel at how you came through it, how you survived, and how you can encourage them. I'm Faerie Grace, and I'm saying don't give up. Don't turn to the things that are just going to make it worse or destructive or take your light out. Have your hope. As for me, I can only speak for myself and my experience. I am on a perfect foundation. And my foundation comes from on high. And that's what holds me together. That's who the craftsman was. That sewn me back together, that glued me back together. He's perfect, he's flawless. But you see that little piece of Kintsugi right there? That's just his reminder that he knows what we're going through and that he is here to help us. So, Faerie Grace, trying to close this in a great way. And all I can say is, don't give yourself hives. Don't worry. Doesn't help anything, but make yourself into something beautiful. It's not the end. It's just the beginning of something else. I'm Faerie Grace. Comment what you survived from and how you can help people, what you learned from it. Because guess what? You still have breath.